welcome back. Today we will discuss two important topics. First one is conditional variable, second one is semaphore. So let's start with conditional variable. So in the previous video you have seen that to avoid two threads using same resource in critical section, we introduce a term that is called lock. So if any resource R1 is locked, then second thread cannot access it, and when it is available, then only the second thread can access it. But suppose that T1 lock any resource R1, okay, and T2 want it. So what will T2 do? T2 come and see it whether it is locked and available, and it is checking it frequently. So there will be a wastage of T2 resource in CPU because T2 is always checking whether it is locked or available. So there will be wastage of resources in CPU. So to avoid it, we introduce a new thing that is called conditional variable. What will conditional variable do? Suppose there are two threads T1 and T2. Now T1 lock a resource R1. So what will happen? If there will be any new thread which want that resource, then what happen? Conditional variable come and it send other thread into a waiting state where it will be put in a waiting queue. So now you ask a question, if they will be put in a waiting queue, how these T2 and other thread which require R1 know that R1 is released by T1? This is with the help of a signal or notifying. So what will happen? Suppose T1 lock a resource R1, T2 want it. So T2 check, due to conditional variable, T2 get into the waiting queue with the help of waiting string. So when T1 release R1, now T1 go and notify all the threads which are present in a waiting queue, waiting for their resource. So T1 go and notify all the threads that R1 is released. Now the thread can, now other thread like T2 can go and acquire the lock at R1. So by this way, the other thread like T2 and other thread which want R1 has not to check many times about whether the resource is locked or available. So once when it is locked, other thread get in a waiting queue with the help of conditional variable, and when T1 releases, T1 go and inform that queue that the resource is released. Now you can go and acquire that resource. I hope you understand what is the full concept of conditional variable. Second concept is semaphore. What is semaphore? Suppose there are 5 threads, okay, 5 threads. They require a resource which can only be acquired, which has a 3 copy, or only 3 threads can simultaneously acquire it. So what will happen here? Here there will be one thing that is called semaphore. What will semaphore do? Semaphore exactly have a number of n that is equal to n, and n equal to the number of resources. So here what will happen? N equal to 3. So when any thread acquire any resource, okay, the number n get decreased by 1. So it becomes n equal to 2. If any other thread acquire it, it becomes n equal to 1. If this is also acquired by someone, it becomes n equal to 0. And when semaphore value get to 0, then no other thread can acquire this resource until if any of the thread release. So if any of the thread, suppose the thread to release its resource, so what will happen? N become 1, because when someone release the resource, the n value get incremented by 1. So now any other one can take this resource. how this happens? Suppose there are 5 threads, T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, and they have to perform a work that is for loop, for for loop for loop of n equal to 3. So what will happen? There will be a only 3 resources. 1, 2, 3. So how what happened? T1, T2 and T3 acquire it. So when there will be so when T4 come to acquire it, it will not acquire. T5 come to acquire it, it will not acquire. So when will it acquire? When there will be a running of 3 loop of T1, T2 and T3. Suppose the T2 first complete the of 3 loop. So what will happen? It release the resource, now T4 come and acquire it. And suppose now T1 complete this work, now T5 come and acquire this resource. So I hope you understand it. It is just like a parking slot. Suppose you come with a 10 car and there will be only 6 slots available. So what will happen? First 6 car allow this, and until and unless someone take away car from parking lot, no other car can come in the parking lot. Like this way, there is a limited resources, and if there is a maximum number of threads, so what will happen? A semaphore value come, it decrement if someone acquire the resource, and it increment if someone release the resource. And if semaphore value becomes 0, then what will happen? No other resource, no other thread can acquire the resource until and unless if anybody release the resource. I hope now the concept of the semaphore get clear to you. And the next topic is deadlock. We will see deadlock in the next video, where we will be seeing what is the condition of deadlock, 4 main condition of deadlock, how we prevent it, and what is the way how CPU schedule the algorithm to avoid deadlock, and last we will see banker algorithm. So we will meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye.